What's up, everybody? It's Gomlet, and welcome back to another ranked draft of Dominaria. As you can tell, it's definitely been a while since I've made a video or played any arena, really, as you can tell by the bronze limited rank there. But hopefully should be able to start getting back into the swing of things, just life stuff as usually happens. Should definitely be able to get back into making pretty frequent videos. I don't think I'll be able to try to really grind super hard like I was earlier, where I was trying to do like a video every day, but definitely should be far more consistent than disappearing off the face of the earth for a month. Uh, so yeah, should definitely be at least a video a week, and hopefully a decent chunk more, probably like every other day or something like that. I don't want to make any promises as work and life stuff happens, but what I will say for sure is that I am back, and hopefully I will not disappear nearly as long again. Anyways, let's just hop right into the draft. It has been a while since I've made a video, so excuse me if I'm a little stumbling on my words and all that. So our first pack has a Shalai, Voice of Plenty, as our rare, which is a pretty crazy bomb rare. I don't think there's a lot we could really take over that. Justifiably. We could take like a Llanowar Elves if I'm like really wanting to go green, because that is a really good card, but Shalai is just insane. Your opponent has to have a removal spell that'll work on Shalai, or they just can't target any of your other stuff. And even if she didn't have the ability to give all of your stuff hexproof, she's a 4-mana 3/4 flying, and if you end up white-green, she also gets that late game ability of just pumping up your whole field. Very strong card. So there are multiple good cards in this pack. I think Goblin Barrage is pretty good. 4 mana to do 4 damage to a creature is just decent removal. There's also a Quende Pride of Femeref, which is a cool card, and it's a legendary. I think Davenant Trapper is going to be my pick here, though. It just goes really well with our first pick, in that it's a nice card to play on curve. Turn 3, play the Trapper. Turn 4, play Shalai. It's just a pretty insane curve. Tap down their blocker, and then all of a sudden you got a really big flyer out there. And I just like this card a lot in the first place. It's just really good in aggressive decks to tap down whatever their best blockers are. And it keeps me to mono white for now, so we can decide our second color based on what we see coming to us. But we're certainly hoping our second color could be green. Alright. Pack 3 looks a lot less exciting to me. Lich's Mastery is a very strange card that I don't think I'd ever try to do this in limited. It's just, I don't know. It's a way too weird to try to think about, so I'm just gonna not. There are a couple good cards in here. There's a Cloud Reader Sphinx, which is a nice blue flyer, 5 mana for 3/4 flyer. When it enters the battlefield, you scry 2. And there's a Dark Bargain, which is just a nice draw spell in black. The green stuff's pretty mediocre. Llanowar Scout and Corrosive Ooze are both just fine. Kind of think Cloud Reader Sphinx might be the best card here, and we might go for some kind of white-blue flyers strategy. So I'll take the Cloud Reader Sphinx for now, and we'll see what we get in these upcoming packs. Definitely not a lot of white cards. Excavation Elephant is not that great, so I'm not going to pick it here. Deep Freeze is decent blue removal if I want to just stick to white-blue for now. But I do think Baloth Gorger is a pretty good green card, and white-green could be good just to use Shalai's ability. Yeah, I think it's between Deep Freeze and Baloth Gorger for me personally here, and I'm going to take the Gorger. Alright, next up we have Mammoth Spider in green is alright. Llanowar Envoy, I mean, it fills the curve and it lets us splash a third color. There's Opt if we want to go blue. Then in white, there's Healing Grace and Adamant Will. Both are just fine combat tricks, nothing that exciting. Let's go with a Mammoth Spider here. I do think I want to try to go white-green here. get as much value as possible out of Shalai, because Shalai is super cool. I will leave the Sphinx in for now, though. This pack is another not that exciting pack. Guess I could take a Healing Grace or a Dub. I'm not a huge fan of Dub unless you have stuff that specifically likes getting enchantments on it. So Dub, I'd say it's definitely fine in red-white with the red cards that do things when they're enchanted. And it could be fine with like hexproof stuff as well, but I don't really have a lot of that. I mean, Shalai is just giving other stuff hexproof rather than having hexproof herself, so I guess I'll just take a Healing Grace here. It's definitely been a while since I've done this format. I don't even remember how good that card is, but I have to assume it's just a fine combat trick. Yeah, we'll just take the on curve 2-drop. 2 mana 2/2 lifelinker seems fine. Here we can take a Druid, just a 3 mana 2/3. We could gain a bunch of life late game. Probably not playing any of these cards, so I'll probably just take a Goblin War Chief. Yeah, even if I end up white-blue, I don't think I'm playing any of these three, so I'll just take the coolest card. And not a lot to say in these last picks. These are the pretty fast ones. Guess we'll take the green card. I already have one Healing Grace, so I'll take an Arbor Armament this time. And final pick is a Feral Abomination. Wow! And then Magic Arena is just giving me a very, very nice, very simple return. If I'm just going to open another Shalai, I guess we're playing white-green double Shalai the deck. Alright then. That's cool with me. That's definitely fine with me. So, stuff I really want to pick up right now is definitely some removal. And that's the only thing I'm like super missing out on. Other than that, I think now I want to just start focusing on having a decent curve of small, good creatures, and definitely picking up every removal. Every piece of removal that I can get. Alright, so this pack's a little weird. We could take a Giant Worm, or we could take Spore Swarm, which isn't that exciting unless you have other Saproling buffers. Could take, I mean, the elephants are going pretty late, so I could take this Blood Tallow Candle, since I do have like 0 removal right now, so Blood Tallow Candle is a removal spell. It is a very slow one, but it's a removal spell, and if I get some elephants late, they could let me replay the candles, so I think I'll just take a candle right now. I'm definitely hoping to be able to get removal that's better than that in the future, but we'll find out. So there's an elephant. I'm definitely hoping it'll just wheel. And I know Yavimaya Sapherd's not going to wheel, so I am going to take the Sapherd here. 3 mana for a 2/2 and a 1/1. It's just nice. So we got Teshar, Ancestor's Apostle. Whenever you cast a historic spell, return a creature card with converted mana cost 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. It's very interesting. I do have 2... I guess I only have 3 historic spells right now, so that's probably not going to trigger that much, but at worst, it's a 4 mana 2/2 flyer, and I think if I trigger it at least one time, then it's definitely worth it. It is also historic itself, which helps me trigger my Devenant Trapper, and hopefully I can pick up more Trappers later. Teshar's definitely not going to wheel, so I will take a Teshar here, and see if I can get some more historic stuff like Blood Tallow Candles, or just good legendaries. Here we have a Knight of Grace, which we could take just because the 2 mana 2/2 first strike is good, with just a little bit of upside with the other abilities. We could take Partic Wanderer because it's another historic card, but it is just like a 6 mana 5/5, which is not that exciting. Take Arvad and maybe try to splash it in, but I'm not a huge fan of splashing stuff most of the time. I think I want to just take Knight of Grace. I think that's probably just really good on curve, and we do need some better stuff on curve. We just have the 2 mana 2/2 lifelink. The 1/3 is not that exciting to me, but the Knight of Grace definitely is. Here we have another Sapherd, which I think I would like to pick. That's just like a great card to bring back with Tashar if I get to trigger it. Another Sap Herd. Yeah, let's just keep taking Sap Herds, I guess. We could take the Voltaic Servant. It is another historic card. We could take Partic Wanderer to be another historic card, or we could take the Excavation Elephant to get our candle back, but right now we only have one candle anyway. I kind of want to just take the Elephant and definitely hope to get another candle. Or just other stuff that combos with it. Maybe some cheap little artifact creatures, like the 1-mana 1/1 guy, because that would be good, because it would trigger Tashar, and it would give us something to bring back with the Elephant. Go ahead and take a Unicorn. Take another Elephant. And now I could just have like a million elephants, or I could just have the first striking flyer. I guess I'll just have a million elephants, and now in pack 3, we just want every blood tallow candle in the history of mankind. And we got a last pick Primordial Worm, which is definitely playable. Wow, this deck drafts itself. That's a Multani, Yavamaya's Avatar. Definitely happy that I'm in white-green, because that card is insanely hard to beat. That is just an auto-include. Definitely hoping to wheel the Blood Tallow Candle. And if somehow Blood Tallow Candle doesn't wheel, but On Sarah's Wings or Grun or Icy Manipulator does wheel, then those are the really, really high picks that I would like to wheel. If none of those wheel, I guess Ancient Animus, just as removal, and if that doesn't wheel, then we'll pick one of the really good 3-mana creatures. There's just so much stuff in this pack, there's basically no way that we're not going to get something good back. Alright, so we have the Multani, and now I think we get to start grabbing the removal. There's Blessed Light, 5 mana to exile a creature or enchantment at instant speed. It is a lot of mana, but I am very light on removal, so I am taking the Blessed Light. Alright, I think here I'm going to take Marwyn the Nurturer. It's not insanely exciting, this deck. I don't really have that many elves. I think I have one other elf, and it's not even an elf that I'd want to play unless I specifically had a reason for doing it, like a Marwyn. But it is a 3-mana 2/2 that taps for 1 green, which, I mean, when you put it that way, it definitely doesn't seem that good. But it does trigger my historic stuff, like Tashar. Maybe I actually just don't take Marwyn, but that just, I don't know. Marwyn's so cool. Even if Marwyn's not going to be great here. And I do have quite the historic theme going on. I guess I don't have all that much stuff that triggers off historic. I really just have the Trapper and the Tashar that triggers off the historic stuff. I just have a decent amount of historic stuff now. I could just take the Honor Guard, because I do have 4 legendary creatures right now, so this is probably going to be a 3/2 sometimes. I mean, Marwyn's also a rare, so like for collection reasons, yeah, I'll go ahead and take Marwyn there. Here's going to be a Grun, just a big old legendary ape that gets even bigger if it attacks alone. Take a Servant or a Unicorn? Oh, Gideon's Reproach, which isn't the greatest removal, but I am looking for it, so take Gideon's Reproach there. This pack does not really have anything I want. I guess I'll take like a 2/2 just in case. And here, Wild Onslaught's probably okay with triple Yavimaya Sap Herd. This might go into the deck. We do have 29 cards right now, so we are going to be able to cut a decent amount of stuff. Take a Damping Sphere just for the collection, because I don't know if I have a playset, and I'm not playing anything else in that pack. And here are the wheels. It looks like we just wheeled Ancient Animus, and that is the only thing we were excited about that we wheeled. But it is pretty good, so happy about that one. Yeah, now we're just in the last few picks here that are basically all going to be garbage. Alright, let's build this deck. Ooh, the vault is full, which means I finally get to see my vault progress. So I'm not going to open that because I do want to keep an eye on my vault progress. Alright, I get to cut 7 cards out of here. Let's take out a Nature Spiral. That card's usually just too slow to be that exciting. Llanowar Scout does have potential to be good sometimes, but the problem is it doesn't draw you any cards, so it doesn't give you, like, any card advantage. So, like, the hands that this would potentially be busted in are the hands with, like, 5 or 6 lands. Because then you're just, like, 2-mana Llanowar Scout, and then you get to play 2 lands a turn for a couple turns, which sounds really exciting, but in order to do that, you would have had to have a hand with so many lands in it that you probably don't have anything to cast with them anyway. So that's my problem with Llanowar Scout. Might leave it in, though. I mean, I probably have other stuff that's... Well... I actually don't. And now I have 3 Excavation Elephants with 1 Blood Tallow Candle, so I think I'll take the elephants out. Druids are not that exciting. You do get to gain a bunch of life late in the game. If you have been getting beaten down, you could just top deck this and it'll give you some more time to maybe finish picking them off with a flyer or something like that. So it does have potential, but overall doesn't seem that great. So I think I'll take those out. And then I only need to take 1 more card out. Probably one of these little things, just like a Healing Grace, and we'll keep the Arbor Armament in there, I guess. Yeah, you can definitely tell with this deck build. I feel pretty rusty. I don't think that this is correct. There's probably some better things we can do here. And there were probably better cards to take during the draft, but I think Magic Arena was just being very nice to me, and it gave me a very, very clear path to go with double Shalai plus a Multani. So, worst case scenario here, I think things will be okay at the very least. So one of the things that they updated since I've been gone, which is super cool, is they have finally added, if you click on the basic lands thing in your advanced filters, it will pull up 1 of every artwork. So in literally any deck, you can do it in limited as well. You can go in and pick your basic land artwork, which is great. So we're just going to choose some Destroyed Ravnica, I guess, even though we're technically on Dominaria, as this is a Dominaria draft. Let's show off those new lands, because that should be cool. Oh my god, it's a forest with Vitu-Ghazi just walking around in the background? That's pretty great. Alright, we're going to pick that one. Alright, and the draft deck is ready. Let's hop right in. The war drums are back. Pencil burner. Alright. Let's go. Alright, so this curve is pretty awful, but I'm still going to keep because I think that Shalai is just strong enough that it might not matter that we don't have a lot of action before that. We do get to get rid of their strongest early game threat with a Gideon's Reproach to give us some time. And now that we drew Yavimaya Sapherd, I'm pretty confident that this hand is pretty decent. I think I will just Gideon's Reproach since I have the time for it right now. It's probably would be able to kill something more impressive than that 2/2 later on. But the question is when I'll have time to cast it later on, because I'm going to be playing Sapherd on 3, Shalai on 4, and then now I'll be playing a Unicorn on 5. But yeah, I guess it's probably better to just keep the Reproach for turn 5 there. Yeah, I'm already not a fan of my decisions in the gameplay so far. Alright, Tiana tapping down Sapherd. I could double block and only lose the sap herd, but that just seems not worth it right now. Alright, there's another land. Let's go ahead and play a unicorn. That is a 3/3 flying first strike. I do think I'm going to attack with Shalai here, because if they play anything historic next turn, Shalai will be tapped anyways, and I'm not a fan of blocking Tiana, even if they didn't play anything, because then if they had any kind of pump spell, they'd be able to just kill my Shalai without even losing a card there. So we're going to chump with our 1/1. And I forgot that the Lance gives first strike, so we just chumped with our lifelinker instead of our non-lifelinker. Like someone who is good at this game. And now we'll play a Primordial Worm, so that is big enough to block the Trapper. Not big enough to block that Cyclops, so we are going to chump the Cyclops. Things are not looking great here. They certainly would be better if we still had our Unicorn. But I did not read the cards. Alright. So Armament does not untap a creature, but it does give it reach. I think I'll just attack with Shalai. And then I can block the Cyclops and put a counter on the worm to eat it. If they don't have a pump spell of their own. If they have a burn spell of their own or something like that, that doesn't even work either. I could also just block Tiana. Then I'm taking 6, but the thing is, then I have a 7 toughness creature, so they can't really attack me with the ground creatures, but they could keep attacking me with Tiana is the problem. Yeah, let's block Tiana. Oh dear, that is a Sarah Angel. Well, if they play something historic here, I'm pretty much just dead. But otherwise, we are in block mode. Yep, that'll do it. I think that's game. I mean, I go to 3 right now. Okay, they clearly have some kind of pump spell, but I don't have a choice. I literally, my other choice is die right now, so... Alright. The mandatory block has been made. We'll plop out a sap herd. And if they play another historic thing, we're dead. They did have 0 cards before this turn started, so we'll see. Or they could just draw removal, and that works as well. So that is game. That is pretty much how I expected my return to Magic to go. But we do have at least 2 more rounds. Whew. The rustiest boy right now. That is... Jesus, that's what? That's a loss in Bronze Tier 2. I think. Alright, Christian is here and they're ready to battle. It looks like they are the lowest bronze rank, because they're just a little circle. So maybe eventually I'll just get paired against someone who literally does not know how to play spells. And then we'll get them. We'll get things started. This forest is really cool. I just love Vitu-Ghazi just walking around. That is one of the very cool plot points in Ravnica. And we have achieved a victory. Nikobolas has ascended. It's as easy as that. Alright, well, we got 1 win with this deck. Technically. If you you want to be all technical about it, we did win a match. But I'm not really going to count that. Alright, we're versus a... God, I don't even remember his name! Oh! Tezzeret, that's his name. We're versus a Tezzeret. This hand's really nice. I get a very pretty unicorn, followed by some slimy boys. Oh my god, look at the little one! It looks like he's dancing. Oh, I never looked at that. Alright, I'm gonna keep 7. That's a mountain. Here's a plains. This is such a somber plains. That's why I love the Hour of Devastation plains. Because most plains just look so, like, clear and peaceful on the cards. I love it when we get stuff that's, like, seemingly out of color on the lands. Like, a plains with, like, some actual stuff going on, you know? That is another reason that I like Ravnica just in general. Even when it's not at war, the basic lands are super nice, because it's really cool to get a cityscape in each color instead of just a literal forest on your forests, or a literal mountain on your mountains. It's like, no, there's a bunch of buildings everywhere and stuff like that. Super nice. So I like my opponent's deck so far. 2-mana 2/2 that gets bigger for legendaries into a 3-mana 3/2 legendary is a pretty nice curve. And they do have the dub to go on Valduk. So this is not gonna be a safe start for me. They have a 5/4 first strike that creates a 3/1 with trample haste at the beginning of each of their combats. The 3/1 does go away, but that is still very big game. Oh my god, it has trample too? So I can't even just chump that. If I block with both my creatures, then I stop all the damage, but otherwise I'm still taking something. That's insane. That's 8 damage right there. All I can really do is chump Valduk. The token's going to go away anyway. And it has trample, so I don't think it's worth sacrificing my Sap Herd just to stop 2 damage, but I will sacrifice the Saproling to stop 5. Alright. If I play Marwyn, I can cast Primordial Worm next turn. And if I play Mesa Unicorn, I'll have something with Lifelink to block with. I don't think I'm really blocking next turn, though. I'm probably just taking 8. So I'll go ahead and play Marwyn. I think my entire plan is for my opponent to have no interaction. So if I can just go Forest into Primordial Worm, and then I can block Valduk with a 7/6, maybe I can survive this, but this is just a very powerful start from my opponent. That really needed to be answered with removal. Actually just going to no-block it right now. If I block Construct and they put a counter on Valduk, which is the only smart target to put a counter on, then it'll have 6 power and it'll be able to just eat my Primordial Worm. So that seems bad. I have to play in a way that could possibly save me from this, which would be making sure Valduk is small enough that I can actually block with this worm. Or I could top deck Gideon's Reproach. This is definitely not when I wanted to draw it. Would have liked it earlier. But I do think I'm going to do that instead of Primordial Worm here. I'm going to go ahead and chump block Valduk with Marwyn here. And cast Reproach. That way, if they have some kind of pump spell or spell that prevents damage, I don't just take all of that damage anyway. And I'll have the 6 mana to cast the worm next turn anyway. So we will block there. And I'm still not going to block the Construct just in case they can save Valduk for now. Because if I block the Construct and reproach Valduk, and then they use the counter from the construct on Valduk after protecting it somehow, then yet again we're at that situation where the worm is not going to save us from Valduk. So opponent is definitely thinking. They are looking at their hand. We'll see what they've got up their sleeve here. +1/+1 until end of turn. So that will save Valduk for the turn, but Primordial Worm will still be big enough to block it. So I am finally confident in the way that I played something. I think the way that I've played this game has been pretty good. Probably should have been attacking a little bit, though, since I wasn't blocking with these creatures anyway. But I do like the sequencing with the Gideon's Reproach and Primordial Worm, and the way that I was not blocking Construct. That worked out fairly well. But alas, that is definitely game. They did top deck another enchantment to make Valduk a super big boy. Okay. If they choose not to attack with Valduk here, then I'm not technically dead. But if they do attack with Valduk, I will die. They choose not to attack with him. I guess they want to make sure that he's safe from the Primordial Worm. So I guess I'll go to 3. Now he's going to be a 8/6. Now we got a Wild Onslaught with Kicker. I mean, if they attack with Valduk at all, we're going to die. But they might not, because they didn't that turn. So we'll just have to see what they do. I was very dead on board earlier. Alright. I mean, yeah, that works. I'm fairly certain I'm dead on board. I'm going to play it out anyway. Oh, that costs 8 mana. Whoops. So we did not quite have enough to kick it. So, I mean, that's 8 damage there. I have to double block. I guess I'm not technically dead. If I do this, I stay at 3. If I block any other way, they just first strike the lifelink damage onto me. And I die. So I do have to lose my entire field. Whoa! Whoa! What happened? Valduk was 7? So they put all of Valduk's... Well, they put Valduk's damage on my other creature first? Okay, alright, we have a chance here. It's not super large, but there is a chance. Oh no! Alright. Alright. I mean, hey, maybe somehow we'll survive this turn. This is like the 3rd turn in a row where I was like 100% going to die, and then just somehow the gods shine down upon me. But I think I'm dead. I think I'm dead. Like, maybe for some reason they just take Tashar and just attack with Tashar. Looks like that is not the case. We are going to take 8 to the face, and that will end that match. That is 2 losses down. Oh man. The 1 win, 2 losses start. Is there any way up from here? Probably not. But that's okay. I have like 15,000 gold. I do get to rank draft 3 more times without even having to do any daily quests and stuff. And that's the only time that I really care how well I do in these events, is when I have just a low enough amount of gold or gems that I'm like, well, if I don't win, I don't get to play again for a while. That's when I really feel bad when I lose. But here I just feel bad because I'm like, wow, yep, this deck sucks. I'm not a great drafter. And I've been playing poorly. But it's still fun. It's still fun. It'll be okay. I will rediscover how to do things. I will eventually not be a complete joke. Alright, so opponent starts off with Tetsuko Umezawa Fugitive, which gives all of their stuff unblockable if it has 1 power. So Tetsuko is no longer unblockable. But it is a 3/5 first strike, which is basically impossible to block anyway, so it kind of still is unblockable. Thankfully, though, the Macy Unicorn's lifelink is going to make me win this race, currently. But I assume things are going to get worse. Tetsuko is going to get a friend, or Tetsuko is going to get bigger. Alright, or they blink of an eye on my Davenant Trapper to slow me down instead. Alright. I think we'll do the same thing, saving a green up for an Arbor Armaments. Just in case. I just like having Davenant Trapper out here more than a Scout and a Unicorn. I highly doubt I'm playing Armament, but we'll see. Maybe they'll do something like Mountain into Shivan Fire. You never know. Alright, looks like it's just my turn. We're not going to do anything with the Arbor Armament now. We'll go ahead and play Unicorn Scout. And I should not have trusted the auto-tapper. Never trust the auto-tapper. Never just spam your spell out like that, because now I cannot save Arbor Armament up. Because if I cast Land War Scout, I am going to tap my other forest here. So this land has gone completely unused because the auto-tapper decided to use green when I cast the Unicorn. I am relearning how to arena here too. Now I gotta I gotta remember not to let the auto-tapper just do as it pleases. Alright, so this is gonna be a great turn. Thanks to the Trapper shutting down that block. And we just send in the big boys. And now everything has hexproof except Shalai. It's going to be pretty hard to survive for my opponent, but we'll see what they got here. Turn Shalai into a 0/4 wall. With no abilities. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh yeah, if I just cast Grun, I get to tap down their thing. So unless they have something in hand here, that is dead on board. And there is the scoop. Alright. Well, we are at 2 wins and 2 losses. It's kind of only 1 win though, because one of the wins was an immediate concede. But hey, I'll take it. It does count towards my gold. Or actually my gems. Both of them. It counts to my daily quests that give me gold and my ranked draft rating, which gives me gems. Alright, I like this hand a lot. We have a curve. Granted, our 1-drop doesn't do anything. But we do have Knight of Grace into Sap Herd, which is a pretty nice curve. So let's get this stuff out here. I think if I draw another basic, I might just scout first. It also depends on what they play. If they just play like a 1-3 of their own or something, then I might play scout. So I drew a Tashar, which definitely makes me a lot more inclined to play Knight of Grace, because now I just go Knight of Grace, Sap Herd, Tashar. Alright, my notifications are going to start going off, which is ridiculous. Alright, I'm sorry. Computer is being a jerk. Alright, let's poke him for 2. So we're playing against maybe like a mono blue artifacts deck, which is super fun. I love artifact-based decks, so if my opponent is doing the historic style theming with a bunch of blue stuff like Sage of Latnam and stuff like that, that would be super cool. Alright, Hammered Explorer mills me for 3 lands and a Sap Herd. I'm happy with that. That gives me something in my grave to get back with Tashar. And it gets those lands out of the way so I won't top deck them. Alright, so no attacks here because I will just be attacking into a 3-3. I can go ahead and swing with everyone next turn though and just Arbor Armament whatever to make it trade with the Explorer. Especially if they block the Knight of Grace, then I just get to eat the Explorer with First Strike instead, which is very nice. Deathbloom Thallid is here, that makes attacking a little worse. Can still just get in there with Tashar though. Primordial Worm. Okay, well now I do really want to hit my 6th land for my Candle and my Worm. But for now, we've got a Scout. We have an Arbor Armament. So I can make a Knight of Grace have 4 power and 3 toughness, which isn't quite enough to do anything if they double block it. So I will just send in Tashar, and that is it. In the little bit of downtime we have here, I think I should probably mention the elephant in the room here, which is that I now have all the Bolas stuff. Yeah, I had a bunch of gems left over that I was going to use on more War of the Spark Sealed videos, and then all this stuff came up, so I wasn't doing those. Wasn't doing any more War of the Spark Sealed anyway, and I was like, you know what, Bolas is my favorite character, I've got these gems, got nothing really to do with them. Let's get the Bolas stuff. Oh, that's Shalai. Wow, that's an insane draw. This is going to be great. Now we just get a Sap Herd back. All of our stuff has hexproof. We get another 1-1. All they have is a 1-1 of their own. That was a fantastic draw. Even though I really wanted that that 6th land there, the game just showed me I had a even better card that I could draw right now. which is definitely Shalai. We will discard the Arbor Armament, keep the Worm. So, Eldest Reborn is probably going to get back their Hammered Explorer or their Thallid. They could get back my Sap Herd, then they get a 1/1 immediately instead of when the Thallid dies. Alright, wow. That's another Shalai. Can't really cast that right now, but that's a very nice replacement when the first one inevitably passes. Yeah, I think I can do that. The only way they can kill the Knight of Grace is by double blocking, and that's fine with me. I get to kill the 3-power guy. I just don't know which one I want to kill more. Alright. So they're probably getting back the Thallid. One of the Thallids. My Thallid or their Thallid. Alright, they're getting back the Sap Herd. Ooh, now I really want to land. That'd be so juicy. But I probably don't even need it. They are on a 3-turn clock, about to be a 2-turn clock. I mean, if I top deck a land next turn, then it's just a 2-turn clock. Because then they just die next turn. Alright, they got a flyer, so the clock has slowed. Right, and there's a land. And we'll put a counter on all my dudes. I was thinking about candling the bird, but that's just a very dumb idea. Alright, they said good game, so I'll respond with my own good game. They technically aren't dead right now, though, so I'm just gonna send in those two. I should have sent in everybody. Because there's actually just no danger in attacking with everybody. They just start losing some ground creatures. But they are not dead on board because they could block everything on the ground, plus one of the flyers. Alright. Claim that prize. We are at 3 wins and 2 losses. With the deck handed to me from the Magic Arena gods themselves. Like my opponent's avatar. Angrath is a pretty cool dude. Opponent mulligans to 6. Scries to the top. We'll play a forest and pass. Opponent is on red. With a Warlord's Fury turn 1 just to cycle it into something more useful. Got a pretty good start here. Turn 2 Llanowar Scout. With just a decent amount of lands, not a lot of action, means I'll be able to just keep tapping this Scout. And that's Tashar, which is pretty exciting. I could play it right now, but I think I'm just going to play the Trapper. I think I'm going to play the Trapper here. If they attack with Knight of Nubenalia, I will block with the Scout and use the Scout's ability to play land. I don't really want to play Tashar out right now against a red-white deck. I think it's decently likely that they'll just have some kind of red burn spell to kill it immediately, so I would much rather they use some kind of burn spell on my Trapper instead. So we'll we'll see what happens here. They're going to Gideon's Reproach my Llanowar Scout. I will go ahead and put a land out. So we got rid of one removal spell. And now we have 5 mana, so I can play Sap Herd and save up 2 mana for Reproach. So that is what I will do here. Just, again, they are red-white, so I am pretty scared of just dropping Tashar out there. And the more I get into my grave, the better Tashar is going to be. Alright, now we have 6 mana, so I'll just cast Tashar and save up the... doesn't really matter what I tap. Save up the Reproach. Hopefully no more removal, but they have only played one removal spell, so we'll find out. Send in a 2/2, probably just trade it with my 2/2. Kind of want to just take 2 here. I don't really want to lose any of these to trade with a 2/2. Problem is, though, that they have Vigilance. But if I cast another Historic spell, I do get to use the Trapper to tap down that 2/2 and maybe get in there. Could just Reproach the 2/2 if it's that big of a problem. But they do have 5 untapped mana, so I expect there's probably going to be some kind of more exciting creature sometime soon. Sending in just Tashar here. Maybe another Gideon punch. Yep, looks like Tashar is getting punched in the face. Yet again. Rampaging Cyclops. Well, there is a better target for Gideon's Reproach. We are just going to take the 2 here. We have a lot of creatures that are more than big enough to block a 2/2, so I think I'm just going to keep taking that damage for a while till I draw into something. And we are on the draw-go strategy. Sending in the team. Let's find out if the Cyclops dies. It does not. Guess we send in the Trapper then. Do they seriously have another instant speed trick? Wow, alright. We are just getting destroyed here. I mean, Shalai is a pretty good draw. They can't attack with their 2/2 anymore. And then, next turn I get to put a counter on it. Then it's big enough to block the Cyclops as well. Wow. Well, I don't really have a choice here. They have another Run Amok. That's fantastic. Well, that sucked. It's a pretty sad way to end it there. Just 1,000 combat tricks to destroy my soul. But we are getting back into the swing of things here. Maybe next time we will do better than a 3-3. But hey, 3-3 is the perfect average. The exact even. Certainly not a horrific record. So thank you everybody for watching, and I will be back again with more Magic Arena content soon. And hopefully soon means soon and not soon TM, which means like whenever. As you can tell by when people announce like video games and they're like, coming soon. The Magic the Gathering Portal app coming soon. And it's been like a year and a half since they said that. Anyways, thank you all for watching. Sorry this video was extra rambly, extra stuttery, extra rusty. Pretty poor Magic today. But I will do my best to do better in the future. And same goes for the consistency of the upload schedule. I was doing a pretty good job January to May this year, or January to April this year. I think I was relatively consistent. So I'm going to try to get back into that. I'll definitely do my best, and certainly when M20 comes out, I plan to play a lot, because core sets are my favorite sets. I know I'm weird like that. M19 is my favorite draft set that's currently on Magic Arena. Unfortunately, it is not the ranked draft right now. It's probably not going to be the ranked draft ever again. Maybe one last time right before it rotates. We'll definitely see. But yeah, I think that's enough end of video rambling, but if you've stuck around this long, you might be interested in that random rambling. So again, for the 100th time, thank you all very much for watching. Definitely, if you've stuck with me past this break, thank you a whole lot. And I'll see you again very soon, for sure this time.